Greetings, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to episode 19 of the 30 most important albums in the history of hard rock and heavy metal. We got a good one for you today. Perhaps the birth of progressive metal, released, I believe, right at the beginning of April 1976 for the Anthem label, produced by Terry Brown. Of course, we're talking about Rush 2112, their fourth studio album. Basically, the album that really put Rush on the map. So, they had the first album, which, got a little bit of notice. John Rutsey replaced by Neil Peart on drums. They released the Fly By Night album, which started to get a bit of attention on the band, right? They started opening up and playing in front of larger audiences, opening up for a lot of the bigger bands of the day. Then they cranked out Caress of Steel, which was looked at, especially at the time, as a disappointment by not only the band, but the label. This dark, brooding, heavy album of songs that just were lengthy, and the label basically said to them, it's like, we need you guys to crank out a winner, because otherwise our relationship might not be lasting too much longer. So basically the band were like, all right, well, we're just going to do what we're going to do. And they basically kind of released in 2112 almost like the same type of album that Caress of Steel was, but this one really latched on with the general public. Okay, you had, of course, the 2112 sidelong epic, the Overture, Temples of Searing, Soliloquy, Grand Finale, Oracle the Dream, Presentation, Discovery, everything in between. Big, heavy riffs, complicated song structures, right? Geddy Lee's wailing, high-pitched vocals, these really intricate, detailed, sci-fi lyrics from Neil Peart, who all of a sudden becomes the lyrical force in the band and brings something to the table here that we really never had heard before. I mean, where in rock and roll, and specifically heavier rock and roll, were you hearing stuff like this? You really weren't. This complicated mathematical music, right? That's big and heavy and progressive. Like they took like the prog bands that they loved that came before them, like Rush and Genesis and King Crimson, Gentle Giant, and all that, and brought it into much heavier delivery, song structures, right? Just amazing guitar work, amazing bass work, and the intricate drumming, and those lyrics, right? And then here, the rest of the album, Passage to Bangkok, kind of catchy, but heavy and intricate as well. You got the Twilight Zone, Lessons and Tears, some moody, atmospheric stuff there as well. Then you got Something for Nothing, which kind of finishes it all off. This big, bruising song that almost reminds of like some of the stuff from the very first album, right? These lethal riffs and just, great power chords and interesting production, and the up front bass on all these songs. I mean, one of the things I always loved about Geddy Lee, he's a tremendous bass talent, one of my all-time favorites. But man, you listen to Rush albums, you hear his bass all the time. And it's not just your normal little bass line or bass groove. I mean, he's doing some really intricate stuff right alongside Alex's guitars and Neil's drums. I mean, just an amazing band. And, 2112, I love it. It's not my favorite Rush album. And most people, when you look at the career of Rush as the absolute pinnacle of their discography, many people point to like a Hemispheres or a Moving Pictures or a Permanent Waves or this, or maybe one of their live albums or a Farewell to Kings. I mean, there's so many great albums with Signals or what have you. But this is the album that not only really broke the band to move them towards like kind of headliner status, but also this sold very well, this charted pretty well. It would start a succession of best-selling albums from the band. But more importantly, would we have gotten bands like Fate's Warning and Watchtower and Dream Theater and Symphony X or Tool or you can name any other, Opeth. I mean, you can name any other kind of progressive metal band, as we bands that we call progressive metal. Would we have had any of them if it wasn't for this album and this band coming before it? I don't think so. Writing lyrics and concept albums that's sci-fi and fantasy related. I mean, and all this intricate music that was heavy and progressive. Call them what you want. Progressive, are they a progressive rock band? Were they a progressive metal band? Were they a little bit of both? Who knows? Who cares? But you can't have this discussion about the important albums in the history of hard rock and metal and not include something by Rush, and I'm going to put 2112 in there. The sci-fi epic That is my pick for today. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think of Rush and 2112 and its importance in hard rock and metal history. Down in the comments below. Stay tuned for day 20 coming up tomorrow. We got another really good one, so stay tuned for that and more here on the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content. If you want to make a channel donation, we've also got the link to our merch, our Ko-Fi page below, as well as our merch page. We can get all sorts of Sea of Tranquility stuff. We are running a sale between now and the end of the year, so if you want to get some SOT stuff for Christmas presents, now's the right time to do that. And also visit our webzine, celebrating 20 years on the internet this year, over 23,000 album reviews, and all sorts of fun things over there. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Pete Pardo. See you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.